What is up, nerds? My name is Matt, and this is my, I don't know what to call this, a build along, I guess. Here's the story of what this video is gonna be like. Basically, I'm gonna build this super cool giraffe and talk about the set, talk about Lego, talk about, I don't know, whatever comes to mind, I guess. I'm gonna make sure it's not an hour, because that would be crazy, and no one's gonna watch an hour-long video of me building the set. I don't know how many of you are gonna stay all the way to the end. Probably not most of you, and that's totally okay. If this is not your thing, let me know below if you were into this video or if you didn't like this video. Otherwise, let's just get started and see how it goes. This is the 3-in-1 giraffe. I think these 3-in-1 sets Lego has been doing the last few years have been popping off. They're so good. I reviewed the parrot on my channel last year, which I think is a really cool set. I think like 19 of you probably watched that video, and that's totally okay if it's not your thing. So if we take a look at the back of the box, this thing also comes with a lion and a gazelle, it looks like. I'm not gonna build those, I think, today. We're just gonna go with a giraffe and see how that turns out, because it looks super cool. I think it looks great. So let's pop this baby open and get started. There's 3 instruction books, it looks like. One for the lion, one for the, oh, it's a gazelle and a deer. That's kind of cool. And then the largest instruction manual, of course, is for the giraffe. So right off the bat, we see that this thing comes with a teal, green, blue-green brick separator, which is pretty cool. Wow, that's sad. So do you guys like the 3-in-1 sets? So most of you that watch, as far as I can tell, are adults, you know, between like 25 and 45, I think is the average for my audience. So I'm really curious if you guys buy and build 3-in-1 sets, or if you mostly only go for like the big icons and ideas sets, or if you largely buy Star Wars, or what are you guys into? Like, what do you mostly build on your own when you buy Lego? One of the first sets that I bought as an adult was the pirate ship, which is a 3-in-1 set. Although to me it doesn't really feel like a 3-in-1 set. The pirate ship feels to me like someone at Lego really wanted to make a pirate ship, so they made that 3-in-1 set and then added on that island or whatever, and I forget even what that third build was. But I love that set. You can actually, yeah, you can see it over there in the corner. That's probably my favorite 3-in-1 of all time. Maybe because, you know, I grew up with pirates and I love the pirate line and think it's super cool. But I think that ship is just great. That 3-in-1 pirate ship for $100 is way better than any pirate ship I built when I was a kid. The very first set I built as an adult, though, the first one that I bought and built, I'm pretty sure was the Moonlander. It turned out really well. It has a lot of like really cool like shiny gold stickers. It looks awesome. If you're at all into space, then I think the Moonlander is great. I'm not even sure if it's still available. It might not be a thing that you can buy anymore, which is unfortunate, but I guess that's just how it goes. Already I can see there's going to be a lot of really cool snot techniques on this build, which is really cool to see. I think that the building techniques they have incorporated into these 3-in-1 sets are so good. I mean, like I said, these things have been fire the last few years. So many great 3-in-1 sets. Here's our start right here, if you can see. There it is there. These 3-in-1 animals in particular have been really cool, and I've actually meant to get more than I have. I just, you know, I don't have time with the other reviews I've been putting out, and work and stuff, and real life, and video games, and other things I want to do. It's hard to find the time for everything. The dogs are a really cool little set. And then there's a cat coming soon, which looks really fun. Also, if you look over in the corner, you will see that one of the first 3-in-1 sets I ever bought was Butthole Tiger, which is such an awesome set. I assume most of you are familiar with Butthole Tiger, but just in case you're not. So, awesome 3-in-1. I think this is a beautiful set. I did not review this one, but such a cool build, and articulates in different ways, you know, so you can like move him around, you can move his front and back paws around. This is, I believe, more or less a copy off of a design I saw on Instagram. I think by Hachiroku, but I could be wrong about that. But one of the coolest, I think it's cool, maybe I'm just crazy though. One of the funniest things about this set is he's complete. This is a complete tiger in every, well, not every way, you know. But it looks great, and actually the face of this thing is amazing. Let me see if I can get a shot of this tiger's awesome face He looks really, really good. Pretty great. I don't know. I love this set. I don't know if you can tell now just the difference between this and my reviews, but a normal person when they're talking is constantly using filler words and saying and stuff, and I'm no different. I do the same thing, and it's super difficult to not do that. For me at least. I don't know how people do it, that like stream. Like if you, because I wouldn't mind, I thought about streaming, and I didn't look into what it would take to make this a stream, but I think it could be fun to do a stream at some point. But it's some work. There's some work involved in streaming. You know, you have to like get OBS and everything and set stuff up, and it's just, you know, there's some complexity involved. The ability to just like talk and be entertaining for an hour or more at a time seems really difficult. It's a lot of work putting together videos on a regular basis. Fun work, like it's cool. I really enjoy it a lot, but there's a lot of work involved. So I'm really super glad and excited to see that there are at least 1,000 of you guys who enjoy watching these. So I thank you so much. You know, if you're someone who has subscribed to me at any point, then thank you. That's so awesome. You have no idea how much it means to me that you want to watch these videos. Maybe not this video in particular, but in general, that you enjoy my videos means a lot. Because yeah, this video is gonna be like more of an Adam Savage-y kind of ramble on my part, rather than like a clean, concise video where I have a particular thing that I'm talking about and then it's over. This is probably gonna be like a hot mess. Maybe not a hot mess, just a mess. Let me know what sets you guys are gonna buy soon. So, you know, I asked earlier about what kinds of sets you guys are interested in, but I'm curious, like in the coming couple months, I guess, if you plan on buying a Lego set in the next couple months, what do you plan on getting? I can tell you, so right now for me, it's April 20th, 2024, and I am gearing up for May the 1st to buy all the Star Wars sets that I plan on getting. Not all the Star Wars sets, but I will definitely be buying the Droideka because I think that looks pretty cool. And I will be getting, what's the other one? Oh, the Sith Infiltrator, because that looks pretty good. I don't know, does it look pretty good? The Sith Infiltrator looks like it comes with Saw Gerrera, so that's something. The design of the Infiltrator, the scimitar, just looks fine. It looks like they did enough to make it a set. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's maybe not being super fair. I don't know how much you could really do for the Infiltrator without making it a very expensive set. The Infiltrator could be, the scimitar could be a really cool set if you were interested in making it like $150 set maybe. To make it a play set that's under $100, you know, you need to make some concessions, and they have, I think. But it does come with that Saw Gerrera minifig, which I think looks really good. Oh, interesting. So this piece here, this is cool. I don't know how often they've used this piece, but this little like red, orange, brown piece here was also used in Tiny Plants. There was like 100 of these in Tiny Plants, which is a really cool set. I like the botanical sets in general. I kind of wish I had bought more of them than I have. You know what the botanical set that I really wish that I had bought, that I have missed out on, is the Birds of Paradise. The Birds of Paradise looks, I don't know, I think the Birds of Paradise looks awesome. That's such a great looking plant, and where I work in real life, that same plant is around and it looks really cool, and when I saw those I thought, oh, I should have picked up that set because it's such a cool plant. But too late now. There have not been very many sets that I have purchased yet after they have retired. There's really only one, I think. I think I've bought one set after it retired, and that was, no one's gonna care about this in here. That was a Minecraft set. I reviewed a couple Minecraft sets because I started playing the game in the last year or so, and I really like the game Minecraft, and I think the sets are pretty cool too, but wow, you guys do not care about Minecraft sets, which, you know, that's fair. I felt the same way for a long time. I used to go to Target or whatever and see the Minecraft sets and think, who would buy these dumb sets? So this is basically just bricks. Like, this is mostly just bricks. Why would you buy this? So, totally understand. So I like them now. I mean, I like the game and I play the game, so I think that makes it more interesting. but the minifigures are really cool for Minecraft. And I think that's, you know, that's probably 75% of the reason that anyone buys a Minecraft set is because the minifigs are cool. But also they're geared toward a younger Lego builder. So I guess, you know, I'm like 13 in my head, but I think, you know, I don't know what the average age of people who play Minecraft is. I see, you know, if you look at like Minecraft YouTubers, that most of them are adults. So I don't know. I'm not really sure who exactly the age of the target market for Minecraft sets, but it must skew younger than something like Star Wars or some of the other lines. If you are at all into Minecraft, but not so much that you're interested in watching reviews of those sets, then you should totally check out Cheesey Studios' YouTube channel. He is, I mean, maybe you've heard of him, but if you haven't, Cheesey Studios, I forget his real name, that's his YouTube name, his YouTube channel. He was a contestant on Lego Masters, the US version, a couple years ago. He and his brother were both on there and did a really good job. They're great builders, but he in particular has a Minecraft world that is amazing looking. Like, it's amazing. It's basically what you would want Minecraft Lego sets to be like, but they couldn't be because then they would all cost like $200 each. His builds are amazing. They look super awesome. So if I remember, I'll try to link actually his channel in my description, because he probably needs my help to get views. Yeah, he has like way more subscribers than I will probably ever have. So, but he seems really cool. I actually saw him once at Brickfest Live, which is maybe not the best convention ever. I don't know. I don't want to talk trash about a Lego convention, but I used to live in Indianapolis, and there was a convention there. Brickworld. Brickworld was in Indianapolis, and that was I thought, this is Indianapolis, this has got to be everywhere. I live in, you know, the LA area now, so surely there are really great conventions. Nope, that's wrong. Brickworld is a great convention. I don't know how they get that to be so good when they run it, but it's better than local conventions I have access to where I am, unfortunately. So Citizen Brick was a vendor, and they make really, really awesome custom minifigs, and I loved them. I bought several because they're so cool. Brickfest Live, for some reason, they don't seem to have vendors at their convention, which boggles my mind. Like, why would you? I don't know. To me, that's half of the reason that someone would go to a convention, is because they want to buy or find really cool, unique merchandise that they can't get anywhere else. So why have a convention if you're not going to have cool vendors at your convention? On to bag 2. All right, so let's do a little recap. We're at the end of bag 1. We're just starting bag 2. This is what we've got. This has got to be, stop focusing on my eyes. This has got to be like the body or something. Lots of studs on the side, so this is going to get all dressed up pretty soon with more stuff. These two parts I'm sure are going to be legs, so I bet, you know, he's probably going to be like one way or the other. So this will be his body, I'm sure, which that's pretty cool. Wow, these snot bricks really do allow for amazing, amazing builds. If you compare all these newer sets from the last decade to the older sets, so much better. I mean, you know, these new designers at Lego have it so good. I had Legos when I was a kid, of course, like a lot of people. And then I didn't buy any for a long time. You know what I was into for years? Several years, was building scale model airplanes. You know, I built a couple cars when I was a kid, but then as an adult, you know, probably in my like late 20s, I started building scale model airplanes, which I think are really cool. There's something I really love about the miniaturization of something like that. And like, even still, I mean, I occasionally watch YouTube videos of people building like really beautiful scale model airplanes and cars and stuff, because I think they're so cool. But I really liked the process of building them, and I liked how they looked when they were done. But then at the end, After you finish this really perfect, beautiful looking scale model, you've got this airplane or car or whatever that then you just plop and you sit on the shelf and it just collects dust. After building like 8 of them or so and having some really beautiful models, it just felt a little like, I don't know, is there a point to this? You know, I think that would be really cool if you if you made it into a YouTube channel and you were really good at it and people watched, that would be cool. Or if you worked at or with a museum or a historical society or something and produced really good looking models for that, then I think that could be really cool. But to me, I think it becomes tough when you know, if you have like 1 or 2 or whatever, it's fine. But at some point you will amass this like large collection of scale model something, whatever you happen to collect really, and then you sort of are confronted with like, what do I do with these? They're taking up a bunch of space, they're collecting dust, and they, you don't play with like model airplanes. So they're just there. They're just there taking up space and looking cool, but taking up a lot of space, and they become something that you need to look after and maintain because you're constantly dusting them or whatever. Okay, so yeah, it looks like that's got to be the underside of his belly here, so that's pretty cool. So I used to build model airplanes. I stopped and I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with that. I was painting and doing, I sort of collect hobbies. I've had lots of hobbies and things that I like to do. But at some point, a couple of years ago, I would always walk through the Lego aisle when I was an adult, just to like look at them and think, oh, those are really cool. Like, that's not really for me. I'm an adult now, I can't buy Legos, but they're super cool looking. So I would just like admire them or whatever. And then sometime during the pandemic, I just thought, I don't care if it's not cool or whatever. Like, I really want this set and they look really cool. I'm gonna build it. I'm an adult. I do what I want with my money. So I spent the $100 and got that Moonlander set, and it was so fun to build. I love that set. It's great. It's in the other room, but it was great. This is interesting. There's an eye piece that's going. Is this his head? How big is this thing? No, that's not. Okay. I thought, wow, if this thing is his head, then this is a giant model and this is going to take me like all weekend to build. Sometimes Lego uses random little pieces because either they're just available or they're inflating the piece count. No, they wouldn't do that. So I bought the Moonlander and I really enjoyed it a lot. So I don't know how long it was before I built my next set, but probably not a super long time. So within, maybe a month or 2 of building that, I was like, screw it, I'm gonna buy another set. This is still my money, I'm gonna do what I want with it. So I think the second set I bought was, that walker from The Mandalorian. The one that has like one red leg or something. And that was a pretty fun little build. Kind of a lot of stickers. Oh, here we go. So we just put on this little, like, the eye piece on the body, and now we are completely covering it up. Why was that in there? Just to add to the piece count. And I get it, Lego. Like, you really try your hardest to maintain what feels like a reasonable value, but it's slightly frustrating when it just feels like you're throwing tons of little pieces into a build to give the illusion of a good value. But it's still a great looking set. I mean, I think it's a little frustrating when they do that and when you sense that they're doing it and when it's so obvious. But the truth is that these builds are way more interesting and cool on the whole than anything that they released 20 years ago. So many cool tiles in this set. So right now I'm putting on, there's some of these like the corner tiles. You probably can't see that at all. I have to cover my eye. These little corner tiles that are so great looking, and I don't know when these were introduced, but there's so many different types and shapes of tiles, like this large 2x8 like rounded tile that looks really, really good and really allows them to do some really cool things, like this giraffe. I think a lot of these cool tile pieces came from the Dots line, which I know is not one that most adults spent a lot of money on. That's fair. not every adult wants to build a little like teenagery bracelet or whatever, or a pencil holder. But a lot of really cool parts came from that line, so that's something. I mean, I think I'm glad that it existed and that we got to benefit from the cool parts introduced in that lineup. Okay, so now we're flipping him over, and so we largely tiled off this side of the giraffe's body. So now we are moving to the other side. The third or fourth set that I ever bought as an adult was, and I completely forget what it was called, but it came out probably in 2021 or 2, and it was also a 3-in-1 set. Maybe that I seem to really like the 3-in-1 sets. They're so versatile. So it was like a big camper and a family going on like a camping vacation in their camper. I was at camping, sure, I guess. And there was like a little picnic table set up, and the guy was fishing, I think. And I thought that was a really awesome build. The camper was really, really well designed. I really liked that build a lot. But it was, I think, on some kind of big sale, so I got a really good deal on it. And I really enjoyed that set. That set is now all taken apart and in my parts collection. But it was great. I loved that set. If you are an adult and assuming that you did not start buying as a kid and have been buying them the entire time, I'm really curious to hear what your first Lego set that you purchased was as an adult with your own adult money, and when that was. Like, have you been buying and building Lego for years, or did you just get into it like in the pandemic? Or are you not into it and you're watching this video because you're stalking me and you plan to take my life? Which, I mean, that's weird. Why would you do that? Did any of you buy the Dungeons and Dragons set? I did not, as you can tell, because there's no review. But I really like the way that set looks. I've never played well, that's not true. I played Dungeons and Dragons once, I think, with my brother and his wife years ago. I don't know, just not something. I'm a big nerd. But Dungeons and Dragons is like a different category of nerdiness than mine, I guess. I don't know. I can see getting into it, but I think the energy, I think the mental energy that I might have spent on Dungeons and Dragons just ended up going toward video games. So I play a lot more video games now than board games. Although I really like Settlers of Catan. Like most people probably. I don't know, if you're a Settlers of Catan hater, then let me know. I think it's fun. I don't play very often. Alright, so I think we're in a pretty good place with the body. So the body is just about done and looking nice. So we have started to move on to the tail. So the tail is a bunch of pieces. Don't focus on me. The tail is a bunch of pieces like this, but all combined and connected together and looking really cool. 2 of these pieces with different ends of clips on each side, and then a couple of quarter round plates, which are such a cool tile. Not plates, tiles. Quarter round tiles. Yeah, so I bought and built probably, how many sets did I build before I started my YouTube channel? 6 to 8, maybe 8, something like that. Well, maybe a little more. So I also have, I'm not going to show you my table because, it looks pretty clean right here relatively. The other side of the table is covered in Lego and my motorcycle helmet because this is my dining room. This is not a different room. This is just my dining room. So here's the tail section right here. Don't look at my eyes. Looking pretty cool. Oh, interesting. I was wondering what we were going to use this. So this set comes with a black minifigure head, like he's Din Djarin or something from the old days. And it looks like he is part of the tail. Yep, so this is the back half. So here is the tail. We're going to put this tail on the back side of the body here. And, oh, that was wrong. Oh, no, it was right. It's just upside down. There we go. Cool. Well, there's that. Let's see, that's probably the end of that bag, yeah. So that concludes bag 2. I don't know if you guys like sort your Legos when you pour them out to make it easier to build. I'm disgusting, so I don't do that for the most part. I sort of generally just really broadly pull out the larger parts, but I definitely don't spend that much time doing it. Ooh, I bet this is gonna be, is this his face? What is this? So we're putting a little black ball joint kind of piece onto an axle, which looks cool. I can't wait to see what this is. I wish that I was creative enough to design sets like this, or to make, you know, because I would really love to make a mock of my own, but it seems like that would take forever. Like, you know, you build a set like this, even, you know, this is a 3-in-1. This is not like a big UCS Star Wars set. You build a 3-in-1, like a giraffe like this, and it's so cool and well designed and easy to put together and has such interesting building techniques. I cannot imagine building and designing this. I mean, I'm building it. I couldn't imagine designing this. I don't know. I don't have the something. I mean, maybe if you gave me long enough, maybe it's just a matter of time, but that's one thing that I really like about these 3-in-1 sets, is that if you build more than one, we're not going to be doing that today, but if you build several of them, like I did with the parrot set, you sort of get a little bit of a sense of what it feels like to think about how you might use a little collection of pieces to make different things. Because I think that's one of the things that I feel like is sort of lost with Lego now, is that for the most part, I think most people, myself included, just buy a set and you put it together, and that's pretty much it. That's all your time with Lego. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there is that next step of taking that set apart and doing something else with it, doing something super cool and new, and turning those pieces into something completely different than what it was out of the box. And I think that's the magic for me, that I wish that I had more time and ability to do. Which is funny, because I'm a designer in my real life job, but not the same kind of designer. You know, I don't have like a mechanical engineering background or anything like that. I mean, that's the other thing. I think that's the other thing that separates something like Lego from building model airplanes. Once you build a model airplane or a car, it goes in the shelf and that is it. That is the end of its life. Whereas with Lego, you can take it apart and make something completely different. You can take apart this giraffe and turn it into a spaceship if you want, which is like magic to me. Now, am I going to do that? Probably not, but you could. And I think knowing that you, at any point, if you wanted, could take all these pieces and do something entirely different with them is part of what I think is so beautiful about Lego. And it makes me a little sad that I don't do that, because I think that's when Lego is at its best. But, you know, there's only so much time in the day, so I try not to beat myself up too much about it, because don't be too hard on yourself if you are like me and don't take apart all your sets and build really cool stuff from them afterward. Because someone else is, and maybe that's enough. Just like the Millennium Falcon I built recently. So, you know, I reviewed the out of the box, the little MIDI scale Millennium Falcon, which is a really cool set. And then I reviewed a mock that's a million times better. I have it sitting right over here on the table. And it's amazing. That was the first mock I ever built. But just to be able to see how someone else approaches the same subject matter is really, really cool. And I really enjoyed building that, just to see, you know, what you could do with Lego. One of my favorite games was Breath of the Wild, and then Tears of the Kingdom is amazing in my opinion. I found someone on YouTube recently who made this, he's made several characters from Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild in Lego, and they are amazing. His most recent video, I think, at the time of recording anyway, was the three-headed dragon. I forget what it's called, but that three-headed dragon with a different element for each head. It looks so good. That's incredible. And I think it's frustrating to me to not be able to do that. Because I really wish I could, because they just look amazing. And I wish I had I don't know what it is. Patience, skill, ability, time, pieces. Is this a leg? Let's see. So we're fleshing out, there's this large piece here. So we've already got the tail. So, oh, I think this is the neck. That's cool. This is cool. I've only seen this part a few times, and I don't remember where else. But there's a little heart shape tile in this warm brown color. That's pretty cool. Again, a part I'm sure that came directly from the dots line, but works so well for all kinds of detailing and greebling of other things too. Oh, okay. So this is the neck. I don't know. Oh, this is, I don't know. I don't know if this is the top or the bottom yet at this point, but we're gonna cover, that's interesting. So this tiled off part is actually the underside, it looks like, and we're going to cover what is now the underside with these little 1x1 pieces, and it's going to become that like fur covered spine at the top of the giraffe's neck. I'm sure I'm using all the wrong words, but that's cool. That's pretty clever. That part right there is going to be the head, and it looks pretty cool so far. I'm looking forward to see how that continues to develop. I'm also kind of curious, are there any of you who don't build Lego and you just are in it? Or you just watch the videos because they're entertaining? Because I definitely do that. There's a PC game called Cities Skylines that I like a lot, that I only occasionally play, but I don't usually have the time to focus enough of my time to build a really cool city, the kind of city that I would like to build in Cities Skylines. So I end up just watching videos mostly, which I think is fine. Ooh, cool, okay, that's cool. This is another really cool piece. This like little 1x1 snot brick that's rounded off on one side is such a cool little piece. We plug in a little, what looks like could be a little microphone into each hole of the side studs, and that becomes the giraffe's eyes, it looks like, which looks great. Am I the only person who does this? Let me know if, when you're building, do you try to hide the mold marks? Because I do, and I don't know if that's normal or if I'm just a psychopath. So the little antennas or horns, they're not antennas, that's stupid, I'm dumb. I don't know what these are called, the little horn pieces, I can't believe I said antennas. I'm debating about whether to leave that in. The little horn things on the top of the giraffe are done, and they look super cool. Using these gold pieces, I won't show you yet. I'll show you in a moment when we get the whole thing done, because we're about to put his ears on, and they look pretty cool. This, I believe, is sand red, which is exciting. What a cool color. I wish we got more pieces in sand red and sand blue. Oh, I'm almost ready to show you where we're at. This giraffe is looking awesome. Look at this guy. Could be a girl. Yeah. It's amazing what the designers are able to do with the parts they have available to them. So we snap this, now we take this whole neck piece, again with that really great looking, that spine of pieces down the middle. Looks so good. It's really cool that they were able to turn what looks like the underside and all the anti-studs into a feature that's part of the giraffe's like upper side, which looks really cool. All right, here we go. Inserting the giraffe's neck into the body. So these two pieces were not the eyes. These two black pivot points there sink right into, hopefully. Here we go. Click. There we go. Cool. So now the giraffe's head goes up and down. That's pretty awesome. I love how it looks like he's going to be really positionable, which is cool. These tiny plant pot pieces, these large, smoothed off round pieces, cover up those joints, the neck joint. Oh baby, we're ready for bag 4. All right, let's put that guy aside. Poor guy does not have any legs. So, yep, looks like we're building one leg here. So this entire bag should be one leg. We'll see how that goes. Since this is already going to be kind of a long video, I'm going to cut to where I'm wrapping up this leg so we can see how that looks. Okay, I just finished this leg and it looks really, really cool. This is like magic. I love this thing. So here is the leg here looking really, really awesome. And then now we're going to snap it into place. So we've got 3 more to go after this, obviously. I think that's right. Yep, so that just presses into there. There we go. And then now it's got like clickable positions that you can apply. So we're getting close. It looks giraffe-like now, a little bit more than it did. And okay, so that bag had enough for 2 legs, it looks like. So now we're gonna start the other leg. Okay, one more rear leg down. Here we go. So we've got 2 now. We're plugging in this other leg. There we go. We're getting there. Oh, I don't see any pink back there. All right, ready for bag 5. So I think, I could be wrong, it looks like bag 5 is the last one for the giraffe itself. So that's kind of exciting. So bag 5 here looks like the other 2 legs. The last bag looks like the environment. So that'll be a fun little like dessert, I guess. All right, we've got the 3rd leg done. This is super exciting. Fairly exciting. I don't know, maybe it's not super exciting, but it looks great. This leg is awesome. So this thing turned out really well. It looks really good. It's tiled off nicely, again, using lots of cool snot techniques. They covered up the mechanism for the way it attaches to the body really well, and I think it looks great. This thing is so cleverly designed. All right, there we go. So 3 legs down, 1 more to go. I will be back in a second. All right, guys, we just built the feet. Here is the last of the 4 feet that are exactly the same. Don't look at my eyes. That's what they look like there. They're pretty cool. They look kind of basic, and he's got some toes on him, that's for sure. But we plug them in right in the bottom of the leg, and that completes our giraffe. So let's see how this guy stands. Is that a giraffe? Is that a pose giraffes make? Maybe not. I don't know. Is that goofy looking? Maybe? Okay, well, okay. So his legs can pivot out a little, so he's not like standing like straight up. That's kind of a weird, let's see. Let's put him in a more typical looking pose. Where like he's trying to eat or something. So that's not bad looking, maybe? I don't know. I don't really know. I haven't studied giraffes very much. Let's power through this thing and build some trees. And then we will be all set to go. And if you have made it this far, then you will be able to do something else fun with the rest of your day. And I'm gonna eat. So that was a pretty cool build. I'll talk a little bit about the build for this giraffe as I'm building the environment here in this last bag. He looks pretty incredible to me. I mean, like I said, you know, a few times already, these 3-in-1 sets I feel like are just so amazing looking and have so much creativity for what you pay for, and I love the way they look. I think they look amazing. These are some of my favorite sets in Lego's lineup, and I know that they're probably not the most purchased or most watched reviews, that's for sure, for Lego. Maybe just because they're kind of basic, or there's not as much to them. I don't know, they're not really geared toward adults in the same way that something like Star Wars, UCS sets and stuff, or like Technic often is. So maybe they're just overlooked a little bit, I don't know. But if you like creative builds and you like, I don't know, you like the ability of having a bunch of cool parts, usually within sort of a focused color scheme, and you want to do something interesting, and you want to buy sets that are a good value, price per piece, and that allow you to take them apart and do something interesting with them later on, then I think these 3-in-1 sets are amazing, a killer value compared to other things. The build for this was pretty fun, not super hard, but really interesting with all the snot techniques and the different, components, the legs and body and spine and everything. And then the way they all connect together. That head was really, really cool. Wow, what a weird... Who knew that the weirdest part of this build was after the giraffe was done? I have no idea what I'm building. The next big thing I'm looking forward to, I mean, you know, you have to look forward to May the 4th every year for Star Wars if you're a Star Wars fan or collect Star Wars sets. So I'm looking forward to those, but none of those are like, I'm not really dying for any of them. None of them are super exciting to me in a way that something like the Ghost was earlier this year. So I think the thing that I am most looking forward to in the near future is that Artemis rocket. I really hope that build is cool and is not like a slog and a nightmare to build, because it looks awesome. So let me know if you are too, and we can be excited together. Oh, it's a flamingo! Okay, that's cool. It's kind of exciting not knowing what you're building and then discovering it a few minutes in. It's kind of cool, actually. And then I can see we've got a tree coming up, and trees are not usually my favorite parts. I always get a kick out of when people complain about trees not being detailed enough and wanting like really dense foliage in trees. You guys are crazy if you're into that. I don't know. Trees, I do not find really dense foliage to be very fun at all to build. It's kind of a pain in the butt to me. If you like it, cool. I mean, that's great. Someone needs to like it. But it's definitely not my thing. I just find them kind of finicky and not that fun and samey and just, I don't know. It's worse than Technic. But I also don't mind rock pieces. You know, a lot of people call all that like a bunch of like dense like rock environment big ugly rock pieces. But I think they're real. I enjoy building rock environments. So maybe I'm just weird. I'm probably just weird. I mean, that's not a surprise. Now for the head of the flamingo, again, looking super cool. What a weird piece. I've never seen this piece in my life. It's like this little snot brick kind of thing with like a handle on one edge, and it's at an angle, and then there's studs on all of the other sides. It's a crazy looking piece. Like, when did they make this thing? I've never seen this before. Now we've got the beak for this. I almost said pelican. Flamingo, looking really cool. Well, that's cool. That is pretty cool. There he is there, looking awesome. Oh my god, this is kind of a big tree. Okay, so that's cool. So we got our little flamingo here looking pretty nice. So the last part of this is this tree that, looking at the little illustration for what it's going to look like, is bigger than it's on the front of the box, so I should have known what was coming. But it's bigger than I expected. The nice thing is this feels like a meaningful part of the set. You know, sometimes Lego will include, they do this a lot in Star Wars, and I'm sure other lines too, where they just throw in this sad little build that doesn't really add very much of anything. I mean, you know, maybe you could argue it adds some minor amount of playability to the set, but not really. And it feels a little like they're just trying to throw in a few more pieces to justify the price, because my understanding is that when the designers are working on a set, they know the price ahead of time. So there's someone in management determines the price of a set, and then the designer is given a budget, basically. Like, you have $50 to make this set, so it needs to come in at that. So they sort of, they aren't just making whatever they want for the most part. You know, maybe that happens occasionally. But I think by and large, the designers are assigned a set and a budget, and so they have to work within that. And so they can't just pick and choose how large or small they're going to make something. I'm sure all the designers at Lego are great at what they do and have all come up with amazing looking builds. Some of the designers are extremely talented, and if you look up their build history on Bricklink, and you can see a lot of times they will have a profile on there where you can see what sets a designer has designed over their time at Lego. Mike Siaki is, you know, among others at Lego, is a genius. He creates some amazing builds, including the Lego Ornithopter. that I reviewed recently, which looks really, really great. That's an amazing build. He also, if I remember right, worked on the Lion-Knight's Castle, which is my favorite build ever. And this is really good. This is amazingly designed, so it makes me wonder who designed this giraffe, because it's fantastic. I assume there's a team of people who only do 3-in-1, and that's kind of their thing. But I don't know if they made a change in the last couple years, or if they hired a couple of new people. But the 3-in-1 has been cooking these last couple years. You know what else has actually? I have not bought any, but you know what else that I have read and seen has been cooking in the last few years? For better or worse, Friends. The Friends line, which I have zero interest in. If you are a fan of the mini dolls, then I'm sorry, but I am not, unfortunately. So I have never bought a Friends set in my life, but they're really well designed. It's not because their design is poor. I just not, that theme doesn't super appeal to me for the most part. But there have been some amazing sets released in the Friends line in the last couple years. Cool. So we got our little base here, which looks really, really cool. We've got some exposed studs on the sides, so we're going to add to that. Let's see how this thing turns out. It's looking really good. Interesting. So it's got this like... are we going to put leaves on there? Okay. We're going to have a good attitude about this tree. I say, are we going to put leaves on there like the table's not covered with the leaf pieces? I'm dumb. Maybe that's why I like the Minecraft stuff, because it doesn't have any foliage. I don't know. This is kind of cool looking though. I like the way it looks when I'm done. I don't know, for some reason, I really like working with system bricks. Maybe that's just it. I just enjoy system bricks, but this is cool. All right, guys, I just finished the tree. It looks pretty good, I will say. So this was not that horrible to build. I was being a baby. I would love to talk to the designer and ask them exactly how they arrived at the construction for this, because it's so unusual. Like, it uses so many ball joints and stuff that you don't, just don't see that on a tree very often, or on a foliage build. So it's so weird, but it turned out pretty well. It looks like it's really giving like tree in the savannah, and looks really nice. I like the way it turned out. So that's everything here. So let me try to get it all into view. So we've got the tree looking really cool. We've got the flamingo looking nice. And then of course our giraffe looking super awesome. I love this thing. I love the way it turned out. It's a beautiful animal. It's a beautiful set. It was designed so well. I need to look up and see who worked on it, because it's such a cool set. Thank you so much for watching. If you happen to have made it this far, there's probably like 2 of you that are watching this right now, but thank you if you have. It means so much to me. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything I can do to make a video like this better in the future, or more interesting, if you think I should continue doing videos like this is the first time I've ever done like a watch me build and talk kind of thing. I don't know if it was interesting or if it was terrible. If you think this video is trash, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. You are awesome. You deserve a sandwich, and I don't know. I think that's it. Later, nerds.